Welcome back to the channel. This time what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the best of Floorslap's post. Now, Floorslap for me kind of lives rent-free in my own head because I think it was making some very, very good content and it did a good job of being anonymous and sort of highlighting the flaws and the little interesting stories and little scenarios that happened within our scene. Now, I think Floorslap is one of the more interesting breaking accounts that have emerged over the past couple of years that have covered things that are going on within breaking and hip-hop. But unfortunately, as of 2024, Floorslap has stopped posting, so it's only safe to assume that bro took his own advice and took a social media break. And I think he might have made the right decision. Probably a good idea to take a break from Instagram to prevent yourself from going insane. So good job. Now all we have is the remnants, and like a vulture, I will come in and try to pick apart the pieces and try to show you guys the best of this account in hopes that maybe Floorslap will come back to the scene when we need it the most. So without further ado, let's have a look at some of Floorslap's greats. Major upset. Are you going to be in the Olympics? Overtakes Can You Spin on Your Head? I definitely feel like once the Olympics dropped, I definitely got this question a lot more from my normie friends, more than I ever got the second question. I think also what is really funny is that when you show someone footage of the Olympics or breaking at the Olympics and you show them like a clip of Victor, like for some reason they think that's you. Like, oh, this is you, right? And I'm like, I literally did not make it past prelims at the qualifier, but okay. It is kind of nice that the Olympics kind of made my normie friends care more about what I do. But now that the Olympics is gone, people have gone back to not caring at all, so that's great. Dancing is life, says person whose life sucks. Well, if dancing is life and your dancing is okay, then your life is only as good as your dancing. So if you're good at dancing, then I guess you can have a good life, but I guess maybe a lot of breakers are still in the Peter Pan era. So I guess perhaps some breakers are still holding on to the memories or the hope of becoming really good or really professional at breaking. And unfortunately, maybe left their responsibilities to the wayside. Video of B-Boy Diaz rounds to be released in multiple parts. I think Diaz is this generation's version of Uzi Rock. I will never forget the battle at R16, Uzi Rock versus Rock's Right, where Uzi Rock proceeded to do a 2.5 minute long round. You know how it is, man. European B-boys, they love their performance, they love their dramaturgy, they love being dramatic, so it is what it is. It was a good run for Floorslap, to be honest. It was a good 4 or 5 years of some great posts. Dancer you've never heard of wins event you've never heard of. This is regarding every single event that happens in Australia or within the Asia Pacific region. That's fine. I think Australian footage rarely gets posted, so it is what it is. This is like that jam that's held in the middle of the woods or held in like some random ass suburb 2 hours away from the main city, which is held by some like arts council and maybe 1 or 2 b-boys from the community who had their input on the event. So people kind of just go travel to bumfuck nowhere just to enter this jam that maybe has like a $300 cash prize. I don't think I've ever had anyone say this to me ever. I think Floorslap maybe just woke up from a dream and decided to type this one on the notepad. I don't think any girl has ever said this to me ever, so we can only imagine. This sounds nice, but if I had a girl, I'd probably just leave her ass at home. I am not having my partner come to an event just to sit down for 5 hours and to see me lose in top 8. We look forward to adding breakdancing to our long legacy of cheating, racism, and sexual abuse, and also slave labor as well. You know, I think a post like this kind of goes to show who the admin of Floorslap is, and I think Floorslap has left some clues as to who the admin of Floorslap might be. So I think this is good sort of evidence, which I'll use later to try and pinpoint where exactly Floorslap is from and maybe who he might be. This account has more of a neutral stance towards the Olympics, so I think it's safe to say that the person who is running Floorslap kind of has a bit more involvement in their own local community. Interesting. So this post here, breaking officially confirmed as the next sport to be dropped from the Olympics, is made on the 8th of December in 2020, which is probably a couple of years before breaking got actually announced to be dropped from the Olympics. So Floorslap really predicted the future here. Let me see how early in advance Floorslap predicted this. I think news of breaking being dropped from the Olympics before the 2024 Olympics, so I think maybe around 2022 to 2023, that's when the official announcement was made by the IOC to drop Olympics. So we had our run, boys. Non-black dancer wears do-rag to shield head from others' struggles. I think we all know a non-black b-boy who has chucked on a do-rag in their lives. Now, this is also another clue as to who Floorslap might be. I think Floorslap probably comes from a more liberal state with a more larger population of black breakers within their local community. So we're going to use this later for evidence. Now, another thing that I want to point out here is another comment here, this troll-ass account, Asian b-boys wearing do-rags. I guess back then, COVID had everyone going crazy, making random ass accounts for God knows what. We strongly believe this is like a trolling account for sure, but this is really weird. I don't really know why the b-boys from the East like wearing their do-rags, because I think do-rags look really shit on Asian people. Whack dancer loves your style. Yeah, when you finish your hot prelim round and then like the most whack all-styles dancer that you know comes up to you and daps you up, that's how you know you've made it into the global elite. The world needs more love anyways, so we'll let this one slide. I quite love how Floorslap wasn't afraid to get political as well. I think it's quite good, and I think this is how you know that Floorslap lived in a more like liberal, or just lived in America or lived in North America, because I think the Europeans or maybe breakers all around the world are a bit more unaware of all the societal problems that are reflected within the breaking scene. Local man mourns anti-Asian attacks impact on his chances of sleeping with fantasied Asian woman. I think it's kind of universal in the breaking scene that most dudes have an Asian fetish. I think most dudes have an Asian fetish in general these days, but I think it's probably more prevalent within the breaking scene because I think Asian culture is more prevalent within the breaking scene. They're just more Asians in general anyways. Like most b-boys are probably watching anime, probably have read manga, or like probably have their weeb phase. So yeah, let's not pretend that every single b-boy on earth doesn't have an Asian fetish. Shit. This is disturbing, says a dude with literally Uchiha in his Instagram username. This guy definitely has an Asian fetish for sure. I think this count is nice to sort of like bridge the gap between breakers and like normies, because I think breakers can kind of get lost in their own source and within the politics of their own community. I think it's kind of easy to get lost doing so because, I mean, we spend so much time doing this. So, you know, I think it's funny. And I think it's kind of interesting that someone kind of did their own job to document the life of a regular average Joe breaker. Because I think a lot of this stuff kind of happens more so to like your regular run-of-the-mill breakers like you or me. Relationship still in stage where partner happy to sit on the ground for 5 hours of prelims. So I think Floorslap has kind of mapped out your average breaker slash non-breaker girlfriend relationship. We start off with the girlfriend saying that she'll go to every single one of his jams to support. And then the next stage is where she'll then go and sit down for 5 hours doing prelims and even maybe rock up to practice for 2 hours just to watch a bunch of guys crash. And then after, she'll get mad at him for not making it past prelims, and she'll probably start getting her eyes caught by another breaker who's probably a bit better than her current partner. And then what she does is she leaves her current partner for a better breaker, and then the cycle continues until she ends up clout chasing to the very top and becomes one of Hong Ten's lovers. No. Boys, watch out. Okay, so Floorslap is definitely like a Rocks Right dick rider, so that's how you know he's definitely from the US. Teen who has watched every clip of Rocks Right in existence has called him okay. And I think that's true. Rocks Right is just like the standard. He's just like one of the greats. Like you can't fault him, which is why Teen calls him okay. Teen will grow up to stop calling Rocks Right okay and will start calling Rocks Right great. Crew practice irreversibly shifting to video game discussion, or in an alternate universe, crew practice irreversibly shifting to favorite porn categories. We've also got Floorslap calling out some shitty behavior from the breaking scene. Definitely feel like Floorslap is in the mix in their own community. We don't support that pride shit. It says a man who defended friend that groomed underage dancers. Shit. Nice, kind of showing more and more as to the things that Floorslap cares about, because I definitely feel like Floorslap is an account for the people. I definitely feel like I perform better in a battle when I enter with just my normal ass name as opposed to like Chad versus Becky. Also, I will note that there are a lot of people in our breaking scene with the name Jeremy. So y'all got to fix that shit because I don't think we can handle 7 to 8 Jeremys around the world. There's too many of you. We need to have a battle to determine who's the best Jeremy. This post definitely lives rent-free in my head. Local hero, a national nobody. Floorslap definitely salty that they had to make a meme account instead of finding success on the competitive circuit. Here I have a map of the United States, and as we've seen so far, we can probably tell that as a breaker or as a person, Floorslap is probably more left-leaning, probably a bit more interested in race politics, probably a bit more progressive in that regard, probably wanting a bit more equality and wanting a bit more fairness within the breaking scene, and probably fighting against misogyny. So since they are in the United States as well, you probably want to be from a scene that has like a decent population of breakers. So we're probably going to rule out a lot of the breakers. We're probably going to rule out Hawaii. Hawaii's off the list. Colorado for sure. They probably aren't from there. They're probably not from Arizona or any other state as well. My best bet is definitely like somewhere along the west or the east coast. So let's cross out all of this. So my guess as to where Floorslap is from, I would say probably from somewhere within the tri-state area, Jersey, Philly, or New York. I'm going to cross out New York because I feel like New York breakers probably have more on their plate and probably have more things going on than to make an Instagram account to like talk shit about the breaking scene. So I'll cross out New York. So I definitely feel like it's got to be Philly, New Jersey, maybe Connecticut. Let's cross out this side of America as well because ain't no one breaking out here in fucking Rhode Island. Virginia has a decent sized scene as well. So let's circle this for now. And then here on the West Coast, I feel like the Cali B-boys are too chill to be talking shit on the gram. Probably smoking too much weed to consistently post for 4.5 years. So let's cross out Cali. I feel like a breaker in Oregon might make something like this. Like I would say a scene that has like a good amount of like smart college educated breakers like Oregon or Washington might be the play as well. So I would say that Floorslap has a good chance of living in Washington, Oregon, or the tri-state area. Probably cross out Virginia to be honest, because I don't think Virginia has that many breakers. But if it's up to me, I definitely feel like Floorslap is living in Jersey or Oregon, because Jersey has a really active breaking scene and they always have a lot of local events. They've got like a lot of young breakers as well and a lot of like college age breakers, I think. So having a younger scene probably guides you into doing something like this. But at the same time, I have a feeling that if the Floorslap account was from Jersey, someone probably would have ratted them out already. Oregon, I think, probably still has a good bet. Like, I definitely feel like it's from a scene where no one knows who they are, or like probably a scene with not that much influence within the United States. So I'm going to go with Oregon or the tri-state area, like maybe Philly has a chance as well. Or actually we have a wild card, and I'm actually going to say that Floorslap might be from Canada. Because I feel like a lot of the Canadians have a more of a intellectual approach to the political side of breaking, or they just think about breaking in more of a creative / political sense. So I actually might say that Floorslap might be from Ontario too. So there's that. Now, as to who specifically the person might be, I'm not too sure. I would probably be here all day and night trying to find out who Floorslap is, but I'm not going to do that. So you know how I said that I wouldn't delve any further into this because it would take too much time? Well, I lied, because I don't think I'd be able to go to sleep tonight if I didn't delve any deeper, or if I didn't get to the bottom of who the hell is running the Floorslap account. So we have a couple of items, and I've been thinking over the past couple of hours as to who it might be and sort of where we go from here. Okay, so we're back with our map of the United States, and before I said that I thought that Floorslap was residing in either the East Coast or the West Coast, specifically the tri-state area, Philly, New Jersey, New York. we cancelled out New York and we cancelled out a lot of the other blue states, which leaves us with either Washington or Oregon. I already cancelled out New Jersey because I thought that by now the account would have been ratted out or would have been leaked. I reckon New Jersey would have definitely leaked the identity of Floorslap by now if they lived in New Jersey. So New Jersey's out of the question. I reckon Philly is probably out of the question here, which only leaves us with one main suspect left. And I'm going to go ahead and select Oregon. I think Floorslap is hiding in the woods of Eugene. So earlier I also mentioned that Ontario or Canada might have been an option as well. I'm going to go ahead now and deselect Ontario as an option. Why? Because I feel like Toronto or Canada already has a lot of stacked Instagram accounts. Okay, we've got Bag of Clips and we've also got Brampton Service Ontario. That other account as well is another troll account that came out of Canada. And I think having 3 really good Instagram accounts is probably too powerful for Canada to have. So Toronto, you guys got to leave some for the rest of us, okay? There's one key post that Floorslap made, which made me believe that I think that they're in the Pacific Northwest area. And it's this one right here. Dancers wearing matching Arc'teryx beanies, all in different crews. Now, if you guys don't know, I believe Arc'teryx has a headquarters in the Pacific Northwest area. I think either in Washington or Portland. Let me double check this real quick. Arc'teryx headquarters. Okay, headquartered in Vancouver, BC, but same shit really. I definitely think the whole Gorpcore thing is like a Pacific Northwest thing, like Vancouver, Washington, Oregon. They got that shit on lock. Like that's their thing out there. Now, going back to our map here, I did definitely leave out Georgia in the equation, but I don't think there's any Arc'teryx stores in Georgia. So let's cross that one off the list. Now, another thing that makes me think that this account is based in Oregon is sort of the design language of Floorslap. So if you want to analyze the posts, right, they're very, very simple. It's more so like a white background with black serif text, right? Very simple and very easy to understand design language. Now, the reason why I think this is sort of speaking towards the Pacific Northwest area is because I think in Oregon, or at least in Portland, I think Portland is one of those cities that sort of celebrates good design and celebrates good design language. And just like Melbourne, Australia, good design is kind of weaved into the fabric of the city, and good design is sort of a part of the city's culture. Very easy to understand, and the design is sort of impeccable in getting its message across. Very, very good. Now, going over to this page here, I have Fisk Projects. So Fisk Projects is like a design studio that is based out in Portland. They do a lot of good shit. And I definitely feel like at this point in time, they have a solid influence like within the Portland area. So if you live in Portland, you're probably seeing really good graphic design everywhere. You got like, I don't know, this random ass branding for like a fast food vegan joint. Pretty good. If you go around Portland, you probably see like really good signs and designs like this. Claro, they did design for Claro. So like, you know, this studio here kind of goes to speak how celebrated design is in this area in Portland, Oregon. Hell yeah. Did graphic design for Tori Ma, who's like an Arc'teryx boss, is an Arc'teryx soldier, I reckon. Like Tori Ma is definitely gulped up for sure. So we can kind of connect the dots here, and I feel like having good design language all around you probably helps to influence your design philosophy regarding making these posts. Maybe I'm overthinking this too much, but I definitely feel like this is kind of like PNW style. Like literally, when I think about it deeply, this post just screams Pacific Northwest. Like this post just reeks of Oregon. Now, Washington already has Not Kid Guppy. Like Not Kid Guppy is kind of running around in Washington, who, by the way, is copying a lot of the ideas that Floorslap was bringing up. Like he's doing memes now, but Floorslap was doing this shit maybe like 2-3 years ago. So I think Kid Guppy got kind of beat to the punch regarding all this. So I definitely don't think that in the same state. So I'm definitely locking in with Oregon. Now, a couple of other things here as well to discuss. We can kind of tell that this breaker or the person behind this account was probably entering jams. But I'm going to predict that they were entering jams, but they weren't winning jams. Because I feel like if they were winning jams all the time, they probably wouldn't care too much about whatever happens within the lower levels of their dance scene. You know, if you're winning jams, like that's just what you do. Like you win jams back to back all the time. I reckon this breaker here in Oregon is probably making it to top 16. top 8, and then probably losing out in either top 4 or the grand finals. Like, this is kind of the vibe that I get from this page. Like, you made it through the bracket pretty far, but then you kind of just got like bodied in the finals. So it was probably good enough to hang out with the real B-boys, but then probably saw that, in fact, the real B-boys were kind of shitty people. So I get it. He just like me for real. He just like us for real. So top 16, top 8. This account was more active from maybe like 2018, 2019 onwards. So very early. Like, this is kind of into the COVID era, which makes it a bit hard to really discover who they are. But then they came out on the other side, all guns blazing. Let's see what was going on in Oregon around this time. And maybe we can see who some of our suspects may be, or who Floorslap might be hanging around, right? This is the latest battle from that region. This is in Seattle, Washington. And off rip, look at how many Arc'teryx beanies are being worn in this battle right here. It's obvious. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think literally everyone in this battle is wearing an Arc'teryx beanie. I really do feel like Floorslap might be hiding in this crowd right here. Seriously. I don't know, man. I think I might be tripping, but Floorslap has definitely been in this venue before. I would say it's maybe not the B-boys on the right, because those are the guys that win a lot in that region. Probably don't have enough time to be making Instagram posts because they're too busy winning. Cool. Hella styles. Another beanie warrior. I think maybe Complex is the only guy that's not wearing a beanie, so it's mad jokes. Nice. Okay, so Floorslap is definitely in this region somewhere. My only issue is I don't actually know anyone who breaks in the Pacific Northwest region. I don't know any B-boys from Portland, and I don't know any B-boys from Seattle, but I definitely feel like they're in there somewhere. Right, who else do we have here? Oh, by the way, this was this year, like a couple of weeks ago, so I reckon maybe Floorslap might have quit or might have been absent from the scene around this point. Bang. Shit. Yep, okay. So I reckon here's the thing about the PNW. Like, there's a lot of good B-boys, but I don't know if anyone from this region has specifically made like a huge splash in the national scene or made a huge splash on the global scene. So I actually think that Oregon / Washington is like the perfect place for someone to make an account like Floorslap. Like, lots of good breakers around, lots of local politics, but not anyone who's like particularly famous or particularly successful on a larger scene. Interesting. I'm telling you, man, Oregon is the key to all of this. See, like this battle here, Not Kid Guppy versus the real Not Kid Guppy, like this is like some Floorslap ass shit right here. Like this is giving Floorslap. Bang. Hell yeah. Damn. I get it, man. Like, I hope you guys see what I mean. Like, this region has like pretty talented breakers, but no one who's like really busted nut on the scene, if you catch my drift. Let's head over back to Instagram, do a little bit more investigating before I wrap this case up. Let's get over to Floorslap's alt account. This account, Break Blessings, which I was sort of hoping to take off, but never did. I think this account is pretty fucking funny too, actually. Fucking hell. This account could have been great. Seriously. Okay. No, I don't think anyone, if you were smart, you wouldn't be following your own account on the gram. If only I actually was in the Pacific Northwest scene, I swear to God, I would be able to find out who Floorslap was. I'm telling you, man, they ain't got no Arc'teryx stores in Georgia.
Back to the map. Final decision, Pacific Northwest area, but I'm going to go ahead and make the claim that Floorslap is a part of the Oregon scene. This is about as far as I can get without going there myself. If anyone lives in that region, Washington, BC, Oregon, I reckon now the torch is in your hands to take over and find out who the hell Floorslap is. I think this is sort of the best I can do, and I wish I could give you guys more, but I just don't know. I don't live in America, so this is as far as I go. All right, here are some closing thoughts.
I just wanted to make this video to remember the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I also wanted to immortalize Floorslap into time and give Floorslap an honorable mention in the in my imaginary breakdance hall of fame. So good job, Floorslap. We miss you. We hope you make a return, maybe in like 2027. That could be fun. If not, I hope you are well, and I hope you are out there having a good life with maybe your kids and your 6-figure job. Nice.